Well, Janet, the services here for Officer Gil Vega just wrapped up. You could see the very last of the mourners are leaving, and the fire department here, the Indio Fire Department, is taking down the flag that greeted the motorcade carrying the body of Officer Gil Vega, the 35-year veteran of the Palm Springs Police Department. It was such an emotional day. Mourners came from all over the valley. Thousands of law enforcement officers from throughout the country, from as far as Chicago and New York, came to accompany the body of Officer Jose Gil Vega, and it arrived here a couple hours ago. This service just wrapped up, but again, LAPD mounted platoon greeted the motorcade as it entered the gates. After the family entered, only Palm Springs Police Department patrol cars entered through those gates. Officer Vega's family did open this burial service to the public, but we chose not to broadcast live from that service out of respect, and people started making their way onto the grounds at around noon, hours before the body of Officer Gil Vega made his way here. His final trip here through the streets of the valley that he patrolled made his way here to the Coachella Valley Cemetery, his final resting place. We spoke with people who lined the streets very early this morning at around 7 in the morning to pay their respects for an officer they say was a hero.
I knew Officer Vega from years ago, and he was a nice officer. I just feel sorry for his family and what happened to him.
Because I'm a mother and a grandmother, and I just feel so bad for that baby that's left behind. I feel terrible for both families, but it shouldn't happen.
And the lowering of the flag here taking place. This is the very flag that greeted the mourners here at the Coachella Valley Public Cemetery with a motorcade of Officer Gil Vega, 35-year veteran of the Palm Springs Police Department. Thousands were here giving their final farewell to an officer they say was a hero, and it was a fitting farewell to a hero of the Coachella Valley. Reporting live from Coachella, Kitty Alvarado, KMIR News.
Kitty, thank you for that. And our Vince Marino is live right now in Palm Springs, where today's memorial service took place. Vince.
Well, Janet, today was the culmination of a very difficult 10 days, not only here in Palm Springs, but throughout the Coachella Valley. Thousands of people poured into the Palm Springs Convention Center to pay their final respects to officers Jose Gilbert Vega and Leslie Zarebny. Now, we saw the family members of both officers, members of the public, and an ocean, what seemed like a never-ending stream of law enforcement officials from all over, not only California, but the entire country. I was told that officers with the NYPD were here today. All of them came to say their goodbyes and support their fellow officers. Now, every time I asked a police officer about the memorial, every single one of them used the term family. They talked about how this tragic event has affected the entire law enforcement family from coast to coast. And there were a lot of tears here today. Officers from the Palm Springs Police Department were visibly upset. A lot of tears were shed as eulogies for the two slain officers were read. And then again, when a video montage was played highlighting their lives and the families they left behind. Listen to what one man said.
It's such a tragedy what has happened, and it's the only way that I can show my support for all these officers that put their lives on the line for us every day.
I also want to mention that Palm Springs Police Chief Brian Reyes spoke very forcefully about the need for vigilance from everyone in the community, and I just want to read what he said. Quote, "Enough is enough. Our law enforcement brothers and sisters throughout the country are growing tired of this unacceptable behavior. People need to start taking responsibility of their own households and stop ignoring the signs of escalating violent behavior." End quote. That statement was met by a thunderous applause. The procession, of course, for Officer Vega left the convention center and made its way to the Coachella Valley Public Cemetery, where he will be laid to rest, and Officer Zarebny's burial will be held in a private family ceremony. Reporting live in Palm Springs, Vince Marino, KMIR News.